between the Blue Jackets and the Penguins. I think that could be a lot of fun, and you kind of saw that last year when the Blue Jackets pushed the Penguins pretty well. And I mean, it was a great time being there in Columbus with, the Cannon. I'm not a big fan of the Cannon, but everything else, the crowd was fantastic. The atmosphere was great. They were standing in line to get tickets in the rain. When I got there in the rain, at about 8:30 in the morning, there was a long line there. And so it's kind of a shame that they've got off to a slow start here. Maybe they'll pick it up. But quite frankly, I would love another series between these two teams. I think that would kind of help build that type of rivalry, and you do need to play in the playoffs to kind of build that animosity, because right now, I mean, the Penguins won that series, and that was a good start because the Blue Jackets kind of showed themselves, and they didn't really wilt or anything against the team that was expected to kind of blow them away. They really kind of took it to the Penguins there for a little bit and made them earn that series win, and I think you need a couple of those though, and hopefully the Blue Jackets can kind of give hockey that again, maybe not this year, but in years right down the line here, not too far in the distant future, just for the Penguins to have another rivalry besides Philadelphia and besides Washington and maybe Boston. I think that would be really great if we could have a rivalry here between the Penguins and Blue Jackets, which are only a couple hours apart.
Well, Wes, before we get out of here, the Penguins still continuing on this 5-game road trip. They got the Jets, Sabres, Rangers, and Maple Leafs. Certainly not the hardest road of them all, but this is a good opportunity for the Penguins now that they're already at the top of the East. I mean, they have a chance to get 8 points there. So I know it's only November, but you might as well pile them on while you can, especially against teams that are kind of struggling right now.
Yeah, and you can say that it's only November, but at the same time last year, the Penguins surrendered the Metropolitan Division lead to the Capitals for a day, 2 days, something like that. And then they turned it on and then never looked back. And they just completely ran away with the division. So it is only November. It's hockey. It's kind of the same thing with basketball. Not quite the same thing as baseball. That's a lot. But it's an 82-game season, so it's kind of hard to sit there and say, well, this game matters in October. Oh, well, this game matters in November. Well, one particular game might not matter that much, but a set of games can. And when you have a road stretch, a 5-game road stretch against teams that you're supposed to be better than, that you're supposed to beat, it doesn't matter if that's in November or if that's in January or March or what have you. You take advantage of that. You go out there and you win these road games because you kind of expect to win at home, and then you kind of expect a split or so on the road throughout the year. Well, you have this easier road stretch. Well, you might as well go out there and do your thing and do what's expected of you, because there's no harm in piling on points in November. They still count just as much as the points in March do. So, the games in March matter more because you want to carry momentum into the playoffs. But for right now, I mean, these points matter just as much as those do. So you want to establish a lead in the division. You want to prove that you're the class of the division. You want to run away with it again. You don't want a team to get close to you. You want to guarantee yourself one of the top 3 spots in the East going into the playoffs. You want to put yourself in great position. Well, this is an area where you can do it. You go out there, you're already on a great winning streak. You continue that, and then you come back home.
Yeah, well, Wes, once again, hey, thanks for coming on tonight. Your first Pens Nation radio show. And remember, folks, you can follow him at other NHL Crosby. Wes was rated, he was a 7-star Twitter feed by the Pens Nation. So make sure you follow him, other NHL Crosby, 7 stars. Sitting there along with Josh Yohe and Mike Holligan. Pretty good company there, Wes.
Yeah, and like I said, the day that I saw you guys rate me that, this is only my second year covering this team, by the way. This is something else. It's been a lot of fun. It's kind of been what I wanted to do my entire life, is cover a professional sports team, and I've been able to do it really early on here, and I'm glad that people appreciate what I have to say and everything, and I really appreciated you guys, thinking that I have that good of account. I remember I went to a practice right after that, and Josh Shilley was sitting next to me, and he said, "Oh, well, congratulations on your 7-star account, Les." and I looked at him, and I'm like, "You too, Josh, you too." And so that was kind of a funny little moment that we had there. But yeah, I mean, I really appreciate the fact that you guys voted me that. And I mean, I woke up one morning and I looked at my phone and I saw I had 50 new followers, and I kind of just thought, well, what did I do? Because I know I didn't tweet the day prior, so I didn't know if I tweeted in my sleep or something like that. But it happened to be that you guys rated me that, so I just wanted to say thanks.
What we didn't tell Josh is that there were actually 8 people who participated in the poll. But if he asked you, he got all 7 of us who voted. We're keeping the one person who didn't vote for Josh anonymous, so that for their own protection.
That's probably a good idea.
Wes, thanks a lot, man. Appreciate it. Keep up the good work.
All right, thanks a lot, guys.
Wes Crosby, other NHL Crosby on Twitter, 7 stars.
Yeah.
7 pretzel nuggets, if you want to put it that way too. Big pretzel nugget guy, and so am I. I'm a big fan of him too. So great stuff with Wes Crosby there. Guys, any closing thoughts here before we land this plane? Got some, we got 4 games left on this road trip.
We're in a plane?
Yeah, we're on a plane.
I wish I would have.
We're gonna land this plane like that one guy who
Jesus flew a plane?
Well, making a bad stab at Paul Sagerwald, and then I didn't want to commit to it.
We are playing the Jets on Thursday, so.
Oh, okay.
Full circle.
Well, Jets fly.
They do fly.
Unless they're New York Jets.
Not the Winnipeg. Yeah, we got 2 Jets.
Winnipeg and New York. I'm not so sure, but Jets do fly anymore. Yeah. I think that's it.
Hey, goal or no goal tonight?
No, no.
You're
saying no goal, or you refuse to comment?
No, I don't think it was a goal. After kind of further review, he had no chance. Grice had no chance to get back up. Now, if he would have gotten off of him quickly, absolutely, that's a goal. But
even
the fact that there's nothing you can do as a goaltender in that situation.
The unfortunate part of that particular instance is just the fact that it was the way that the call was made, and why people thought that the play was being reviewed was because the puck crossed the line. Well, when we watched the replay, it clearly crossed the line. So people were upset for that reason. They thought it was a goal, and they thought it was a bad. And here's the deal with goalie interference that I don't think everybody understands. It doesn't have to be intentional goalie interference for a goal to be waved off. If a player is interfering with the goalie's ability to play his position in any way, it's done. That's goaltender interference, and you're not required to blow the play dead unless it directly results in a goal. So if that puck had gone and hit the post and the Penguins clear the zone, the play continues, and that's why the play didn't die. And the whistle wasn't blown right away. So people are just really confused about that whole situation. But in reality, it was a good call. It was the right call. And I don't know why he had to come forth and say that the play was unreviewable, though, because that is no longer the case in the National Hockey League. But aside from that, it was a good call. Hey, sail around.
Yeah. I mean, that's one of those things that a lot of people will be talking about, and the Wild fans certainly aren't happy, but got to move on. That was the first loss at home, actually, for the Minnesota Wild tonight. So
and we never have to see him again.
Yeah, such an angry first loss at the XL Energy Center. So Penguins will be in Winnipeg on Thursday night. We'll see if they can continue to ride this winning streak. Another 8 o'clock game. That'll be in Winnipeg. So we'll be back on the air next week, I'm assuming. And
yes.
we'll be able to talk about all these games against the Jets and Saturday against the Sabres as well. The Penguins will travel to Buffalo this time and face the Buffalo Sabres. So
the formidable Buffalo Sabres.
Such a
mighty
scary
Buffalo
team.
Sabres.
That was my biggest concern coming in tonight, is whether or not the Penguins could defeat the Buffalo Sabre losing streak. So I feel like that's going to be a trend to watch all the season. Is all these NHL teams, when they play the Buffalo Sabres, after that, do they go on a losing streak? Just because they've been playing down to the competition for 60 minutes and doesn't carry over the next game. But anyway, that's all. Thanks.
Yeah, Sabres a struggling team. We'll see if they can do any better in their home building. Probably not, but we'll wait and see. That'll be Saturday night. So
they're horrible.
Yes, they're terrible. But until next time, for Ken Will, for Nick Richter, for Wes Crosby, I'm Andy Hughes. Thank you for joining us on the Pens Nation Radio Show. Let's get out of here.
Bye. So why don't you make like a tree and get out of here?
Hit it.